In Spain, the government of Spain has just now is considering legislation that would fine doctors for, quote, unjustified measures to prolong the lives of their patients. Unjustified measures. They're talking about their new euthanasia law that they're starting to push there. And so if a doctor says that, for example, this patient doesn't need to be euthanized, there's a reason this person's life could be spared, and this board decides that that was a unjustified measure to prolong the life of the doctor can go to jail.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm unnecessarily prolonging someone's life?
Isn't that what we used to try to do? No matter what, we do everything to save a person's life?
No matter what.
You know, if it was my son or daughter or my wife or myself, I would want to stay alive as long as
whatever it
possible.
takes. Mm-hmm. But you know, what we're headed toward, and this thing with euthanasia and abortion paves the way for all the future stuff.
Sure.
We'll never stop euthanasia or infanticide or any of these other things as long as abortion's legal. That will never happen.
Right.
And I can see very easily right now, and you're already hearing this talked about in some socialist countries in Europe, where you'd have freestanding euthanasia clinics like you have freestanding abortion clinics. So grandma's a little sick, you take her down to the clinic, and they're already seeing now in these countries where 30 and 40% of all euthanasia events are non-voluntary. And it started out as simply a death with dignity type thing. Right. If you're dying and you know you only got 3 months to live and you're in excruciating pain and you can go ahead and euthanize yourself. Now it's over 30% of them are non-voluntary. So it's somebody else saying,
right,
you got to go.
See, Mark, this is real personal for me. When I had that heart attack and I underwent a 6 bypass surgery, open heart surgery.
You'd have been gone.
Mm-hmm. There was a form I had to sign first. And one of the nurses looked at it, and I looked at it, it was the regular little form, the doctor shall take no unnecessary steps. And as soon as she said, oh no, she said, your doctor's not gonna want this one. She said, he's got another form. And she brought back the other form, and the form brought back, the physician is allowed to take extraordinary measures to save your life, And because I signed that, there came a point in the middle, as soon as the operation started, my heart stopped. And that fellow for 20 minutes did the beating of my heart by massaging it with his hands. So I'm thinking, I am glad, that's an answer to prayer for me, that this doctor actually had me sign a form that said he's allowed to take extraordinary measures.
Right. Or else he'd have had to just step back and say,
oh my goodness, what if I had signed up and said he could not take extraordinary measures?
You wouldn't be sitting here with us.
Well, you would have another person on the show.